Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. For today's video, I wanted to pick so many fragrances to share for recommendations for the Sephora holiday savings event, but I narrowed it down to 10 fragrances, and these fragrances are just so good, and these are the ones that I recommend if you are shopping for fragrances during this Sephora savings event sale. So if you are interested to see the fragrances that I chose for my recommendations, just keep on watching. Guys, so I just got done filming the first part of my recommendations videos, and the first part was all beauty and skincare. So if you are interested in those, go ahead and check out that video. That one went up first, I believe. I'm not too sure which one is going up first, but today we're going to be talking about the top 10 fragrances that I recommend you check out during the Sephora holiday savings event, which starts on November 1st until the 11th. And depending on where you fall in the beauty insider tiers, if you are insider, a VIB, or a rouge, you will get a different discount depending on which tier you are in. So you can save up to 20% off on these fragrances starting November 1st all the way until the 11th. So I am going to start off with some of my all-time favorite perfumes. I love these fragrances so much. I have talked about them for so long on my channel. So with that said, let's get right into it. The first fragrance I'm going to recommend is actually two. I'm cheating here, but they're kind of the same, and I wouldn't recommend getting both. I have both and I absolutely love them, but I think if you have one, you don't have to rush to get the other. So these are the Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume fragrances. These are so good. Now, these are perfect for those of you who don't really like fragrances that are super floral, super fruity, super woody. You prefer something that's just musky, light, that smells. I always kind of describe it as like a cloud, a misty cloud that just smells so good, because there's just something about it that smells, you smell clean, you smell fresh, you smell inviting, you smell like you're like second skin, like you just smell so good. It's perfect for nurses, perfect for teachers, maybe if you have allergies or you get headaches easily. This scent DNA is so good. So the original Not a Perfume is the white bottle. This was the first one that I got. I fell in love with it. It's one of my all-time favorite perfumes. And then after having that one, I was very curious about the Superdose. And the Superdose, I think I fell in love with even more than the original one. This one has a little bit of like a woody touch to it, but when it starts to settle into my skin and they kind of start combining, this releases like this sweetness. I went to bed with it one night, and I remember just putting the sheets over to go to bed, and the wind that hit me, magical. It was so good. It smelled so good, and it lasted all night long. So Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume. Love them. They are so worth checking out in my opinion. Let's keep it a little light before we get into like the warm, cozy, gourmand scents that I want to recommend. Again, kind of staying in this category of second skin, a little musky, relaxing. It's not too much of anything. It's not too sharp. We have the second fragrance I recommend, and this is Fleur Father Figure. This is perfectly unisex. It's not too masculine. It's not too feminine. There is fig in here, which adds a little bit of a fruity touch, but it's not super fruity. It just adds more of like a, I wouldn't say juicy, but it just gives it a little bit more juiciness to the fragrance. So this one right here is, to me, very relaxing, very comforting, perfect for being at home, for running errands, for everyday type of perfume. You can pick this up and pretty much go anywhere with it year round, any time of the year. It is a gorgeous perfume. It has a little bit of a powderiness to it. It's a little musky. It is just a tiny bit fruity, but not in the way that you would expect. Like, don't think strawberries or citruses or like super fruity berries. It's not like that. It's this fruit that just gives it a little bit of a juiciness, and it's just so good. And you have to be okay with it being a little unisex, because I will say it's not the most feminine perfume. And I'm a very girly girl, but there are days where I just want something that smells a little more casual, a little more unisex, that I can just feel comfortable in. So father figure is so good. All right, so if you are an apple lover, my third fragrance would be Ellis Brooklyn Apple Love. This right here smells just like a juicy, crisp apple, but it also has, I don't remember if it's peach or nectarine, and sugar and vanilla in the base. I know there's other notes, but to me, adding that sugar and the vanilla in here, I noticed it. I pick it up. My bottle has been sitting for a year though, so I will say this is not the best in longevity. So if you get it or if you try it, just remember when it's new, it doesn't last as long. I was kind of mad at it when I first got it. My husband compliments me every single time that I put this perfume on. Every time. I have literally put it on purpose to see if he notices. And as soon as I walk past him, he's just like, what did you put on? You smell so good today. He doesn't know that it's the same perfume, but it always catches his attention. So it has that juicy fruitiness to it, but then the sugar and the vanilla give it like this creamy, perfect, just rounded out, smooth scent. And I use this one to layer with like very random perfumes, and every perfume that I've paired it with is so good. I paired it with the Donna Born Aroma Pink. That was just so good, and it was stuck to my sweater for days. So it's nice to layer, it's nice to wear by itself, and I absolutely love this perfume. Next, we have the Seven Virtues Amber Vanilla. This right here, if you are a Glossier You girl, or if Glossier You felt a little too like pink pepper, I would tell you to check out this one, because Amber Vanilla has the same vibe as Glossier You, but there is something in here that's definitely sweeter, girlier, more like romantic smelling. This is such a good perfume, and this is another one that I recommend that just smells amazing. This was like a love at first sniff, and it just keeps getting better and better. This is like Glossier You, like I said, it's like a second skin type of perfume, but then it also has like this ambery vanilla touch to it, but it's very soft, and it's perfect for every day as well. Next up, we have Commodity Gold. So this perfume is one of my favorite vanilla fragrances. As you can see, I have a dent going on in this one. It's not too big because I have over 100 perfumes, but this is one that I just love to reach for. It's dainty, and by dainty I mean usually when you smell a vanilla perfume, if it's like vanilla heavy, the vanilla will get a little thicker, it'll be a little more dense. This fragrance feels a little bit more airy. It feels a little more dainty, just more chic, more polished. It just feels like you can definitely wear this with like a button-down shirt and jeans. But I've also worn this during the holidays, and I've paired it with really, really sweet vanilla body care, and it just smells amazing. This is also another one that I would consider unisex because it would probably smell amazing on a man, but it's not manly. It's very nice. It's sexy. It's just a really nice vanilla fragrance. It's my favorite from the Commodity line. All right, so these next two fragrances are more like you're going out on date night. You want to smell good. You want to smell feminine. You want to smell irresistible. You want to smell just all of those things for whoever it is that you're going on a date with. So the first one is going to be Burberry Goddess. This right here is a blast of lavender and manila. Manila? Really? Vanilla mixed together. And it's so unique. I feel like, yes, you can kind of compare this to Guerlain Mon Guerlain, but Mon Guerlain to me has like this warm, comforting touch to it, and it's so like classy and just ladylike, and I love that one. It's so good. But this one gives me a little bit more sexiness. It gives me more of like a fresh spiciness, not a warm spiciness, and that's kind of like the two differences that I get from those two. This is like, I'm going out on a date, I want to feel pretty, I want to feel sexy, put together. I would reach for Burberry Goddess. I have really been loving this one lately, and I actually made a little dent in this one as well. Next up is a new fragrance in my collection, but I have to recommend it because this one was so hyped up. It was getting reviews everywhere. Everyone was saying that it was like a must-have, and I couldn't get my hands on it when it was released the first time. So it has been released again, and I got it, and I will say, I agree. It is definitely a fragrance to check out. This is Kayali's The Wedding Silk Santal. First of all, the packaging I am obsessed. This is my favorite bottle from all of the perfumes that I've tried from Kayali. I have tried some that have not been for me. I have also tried some that are absolute favorites. So this one falls into the favorites category, and the bottle is just so beautiful. And this perfume is wow. This is like that girl, that wife, that mom. It's every single type of woman, but she's that girl. She is. Mm. Okay, this to me is kind of hard to describe it because I feel like it has a mix of other Kayali perfumes. Like I can smell a little bit of vanilla, Kayali vanilla. I can smell kind of like deja vu white flower as well, but not as syrupy or concentrated as that one. This one's definitely a little more, a little woody. Oh, and then the fruit that is in here, I think it's nectarine, is like juicy. So it adds a juiciness to it and there's a sweetness to it. And it is just beautiful. Beautiful. If you can get your hands on this one, it's definitely worth it. Next up, keeping it in the Kayali family, is my all-time favorite Kayali, even though she might be coming for that spot. But before that one came along, my favorite Kayali fragrance that I always recommend is Vanilla 28. And this one has a bigger dent. I have actually been using this one a lot this month as well. This one to me is like brown sugar, vanilla extract with a little bit of florals thrown in there. So it does feel more like bougie, more dressed up. It doesn't feel casual to me, but this one is one that I don't care. Like I literally picked it up yesterday and put it on during the day and I was not doing anything. But if you're trying to go out on a date, if you're trying to look put together, if you want like the perfect fall winter scent, this one is another one that I would recommend. The last two are going to be like comforting, warm, cozy, fall vibes. The first one is going to be Skylar Vanilla Sky. This is literally like a vanilla warm latte with whipped cream on top and a shit ton of caramel drizzled on top. That is what I get with this perfume. And again, this one kind of, I say the same thing about this one as my Apple Love. If you do decide to pick it up and you like the scent, but you feel like it's not performing the best, it gets better. It gets thicker, it lasts longer over time. I know it sucks that we have to wait with perfumes, but I feel like I've kind of learned that over the years. There are some perfumes that I've literally kind of just put away to sit because they either smelled kind of watered down or they didn't last long enough. And when I pick it up a few months later, sometimes a year later, they are mind-blowing. And I just love this one. Every time that I spray this one, imagine all of those things that I said, but also perfuming, because I don't like to smell literally like food. So I don't want you to think that this literally smells like a latte, but you will get the caramel. You will pick up that caramel note in here and it is addicting. Great for gourmand lovers. Love that one. Now, my last fragrance and one that I have been picking up nonstop is from Dead Cool, and this one is fragrance number 1. So this one I've also had for about 2 years now. It is halfway. This is the most warm, ambery, soft vanilla ever. Like I just love this scent. If you love Sabrina Carpenter's Sweet Tooth, but you want something that feels a little more grown up, a little bit more like a little deeper, it's not a beast mode type of perfume. It's not like that. It's more like intimate and the people that get close to you. But this is great for bedtime. It's great to go to appointments, to do everyday things during fall. It just smells very cozy and warm, and it just smells like fall season, like sweaters, crisp day outside. It's gloomy. Hi, mama. My babies just got home from school. My husband went to go pick them up because I have so much to do. So I kind of lost my train of thought, but cozy fall day, sweater, reading a book, watching Hocus Pocus, just all of that stuff. This is great. Those are the perfumes that I recommend you check out this year during the holiday savings event, but I want to hear from you too. I'd love to hear your opinions. So if there are any fragrances that you recommend, don't forget to leave them so that others can see it. And maybe if we see the same fragrance being mentioned, we know what's good. So thank you so much for your support, for commenting, for liking. I appreciate you guys so much. And with that said, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video.